So I've been thinking about things more, and I made a video not too long ago talking about why I'm kind of hesitant to do sponsors. But I've been kind of following some of the recent scandals and stuff, and thought about doing dedicated videos on them, but personally they haven't affected me, so not really much of an authority on it. Um, Biggest one being the recent honey scam, but I will try to link to stuff in the description, sources and whatnot, that videos that explain that better. But I think at this point, what it's come down to is I'm not going to be doing sponsor spots. And that's kind of what I meant when I did my video about sponsored videos. So I'm still going to do sponsored videos where somebody gives me a product review. I don't regret doing the product review of the Slager CX3702 case, and I wholeheartedly believe in the company that created that case and the people that work there. They make a great product. They've always been fantastic on their customer support. So, I mean, stuff like that, I am definitely going to be doing more of in the future. But I'm going to be extremely picky on who I work with. Um, I'm gonna. I'm not gonna be willing to deal with companies that want me to push a narrative. Um, I intend to say whatever I feel is relevant to the product if I'm reviewing it. I will be open to input from the company, obviously, because it's reasonable, but I'm not gonna let the company tell me and dictate to me that, oh, well, you need to say that this thing is great for this reason or whatever. But uh yeah, it just, I don't know, a lot of the stuff that's been coming out with these various scandals I find to be really disturbing, that a YouTuber would put their reputation above their viewers needs. So like with the honey scam, the reason people haven't found out sooner is because, well, some of the people that took that sponsorship didn't want to admit that they found out, that shady things were going on. They just dropped honey as a sponsor. And at least, they didn't keep taking him on as a sponsor, but I feel like if you take on a bad sponsor, as Lewis Rossman pointed out, if you if you promote anything in general that ends up being bad, you should own up for it. You should explain, the who, what, where, when, why, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm not taking this sponsor anymore because I found out that they were doing malicious stuff to their customers, and like, that's the right way to do it. And same with Gamers Nexus. I know they on their video where they exposed some shady practices that NZXT was participating in. That was the video where they basically said, "Hey, we're not doing this sponsorship anymore. By the way, this is your notification." And it's like, you know what? I respect that. That's it's a risky move because you don't want to piss people off, but at the same time, it's like owning owning your platform and your voice is important. So, yeah, and I don't like the idea of promoting a company that I might not have ever used before and then finding out that they're a garbage company. Um, my big one that I still harp on is Betterhelp. Maybe my opinions are wrong, and maybe the information out there that has been put forth is wrong. But in my heart, I believe that BetterHelp is a scummy piece of garbage company, and the fact that they're potentially providing unqualified people for mental health services And whoops, Windows. Um, and then the accusations that they were mishandling personal information, like that's unacceptable. And there's some YouTubers that apologize and said, I made a mistake and I shouldn't have done this, but then they backpedal and they take that same sponsor again, and it's like, wow, I can't believe you have such little respect for your viewers that you're willingly taking on a horrible sponsor that's known to be, terrible company. Um, and that's why personally, for me, any YouTubers that take a Betterhelp sponsorship from 2024 and on, you take that sponsorship, you're dead to me as a user, because what you're telling me as a YouTuber is you care more about money than your users, or not, shouldn't call your viewers. I'm used to thinking this in software terms. I'm a user of Windows, but no, a viewer. Like, you think so little of me as a viewer that you're not willing to research your sponsors and pick ones that are going to be good companies, from like an ethical standpoint. So yeah, I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of scam sponsors that have made the rounds on YouTube. Honey is the latest one. BetterHelp is still going around, which kind of pisses me off to some degree. Established titles, that one kind of died off. That one was, it was pretty shady, but when it comes to what established titles did versus like BetterHelp or Honey, you know, it's all just different levels of harm, I guess, is what I'm gonna say. But I just don't like it, and it's not something I particularly want on my conscience or my reputation. It's just not good. Like, some people say, "Oh, let that person get their bag, let them pay their bills." And it's like, you don't understand. There's an implication of this beyond the fact that they're getting paid to promote this, because they're getting paid to promote it with the expectation that some people are going to fall for that promotion. So if a YouTuber takes on a harmful sponsor, well, that's a reflection on the YouTuber, not just the sponsor. And honestly, I don't think people like sponsor spots anyways. Most of the time I ignore them. I can't think of a single um, sponsor that I've actually purchased something from. I'm just trying to think of all the ones, like, maybe eventually I'll try HelloFresh or Factor. I don't know. It's probably not going to be directly because of a YouTuber doing a sponsor spot, though. The closest thing I've done to sponsor stuff, buying sponsored stuff from a YouTuber, would be if somebody uses an affiliate link. I know Art of Server had an affiliate link posted for some hard drives, and I ended up buying a bunch of those because they were a good deal and they were a good drive. That's actually what I have in my Slager NAS. But yeah, I don't know. And I feel like viewers deserve better in general. Like, these sponsor integrations, most of the time they don't offer any value. And I'm kind of glad, people have been calling out these scam sponsors, because I think, at least for me personally, it's helped me realize that, like, this isn't good or beneficial or anything. Like, do I really want to risk my reputation sponsoring something and finding out, that, oh, well, this company's garbage? And there's stuff, people that could reach out to me potentially down the road, NordVPN seems to be a really popular sponsor, but like, I'm not going to take that as a sponsor. I can't prove that they're actually protecting user data because I don't have the technical skills to inspect how their VPN works. And I don't believe there's really necessarily a good reason to have or pay for a VPN other than for getting around geo blocking, I guess. But like, yeah, so it does suck because stuff like this means that I'm not gonna be able to do fancy videos that would be neat. Um, if there's some really cool project I wanted to do that costs a lot of money, and it'd purely just be for the sake of a video, I'm not going to be able to justify it more than likely. Granted, I mean, most of my server projects are kind of silly. I don't really need any of that, but yeah, I won't talk about the thousands of dollars I've spent on server parts now for really no good reason. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I've honestly passed up a lot of stuff as it is. There's a few product reviews people were asking me if I'd have any interest in, and I gave a legitimate look at it, and I'm just like, no, not really. I don't. This isn't a product I would buy. I don't like it necessarily, and um, or I don't like your company because there's obvious signs that you're being shady. Um, so yeah, I mean, I probably could do more sponsors. I've already passed over like 4 or 5 now, but I think, even though it's uncommon these days, I'm going to try to my best to stick to my morals and my ethics because I feel like that should be more important to people. So yeah, bit of a ramble, but um, definitely don't foresee myself doing any sponsors anytime soon other than product reviews. If I ever do a sponsorship that's shady and I don't own up for it, I hope as a viewer you have the respect to call me out for my bad choices and hold me accountable, because it's definitely something that needs to be done. If a YouTuber that you like takes on a bad sponsor, the only way they're going to learn is if you call it out, or you just say, hey, I'm not going to support yourself anymore because it's clear to me that you don't respect me as a viewer. But yeah, either way, I guess curious to see what other people think. And thanks for watching.